Hi, everybody, and welcome to Twisted Fairy Tales. I know that I'm always so excited to teach classes, but I actually am, and it's because I am looking forward to the stories that you are going to tell, and and I'm looking forward to having the something that has a really nice product at the end. I know that sounds so commercial, but a lot of times I feel like people do wonderful work in my classes, at, and at the end of the day the paintings just kind of sit there, or maybe there's a little bit of a celebration. But I feel the thing that I love about having an accordion book is that this is something that you can take off the shelf and look at, and it has this sort of format that is really friendly in your hands, and it's a very tactile experience. I've been enjoying getting ready for this class by doing sort of mock-ups and playing around with the paper and the materials and making some pretty ridiculous mistakes, and so that you don't have to. So I suffer for your art, and I've been so I've been and I've also I love the combination of being very hands-on and tactile with these materials, and then also being very cerebral, thinking about storytelling and how you tell stories, and how do you tell a story better, and how do you tell it in a way that people, I mean, tell the story for yourself first and foremost, and like don't worry if people are going to like it or they don't, because that's really, I think a lot of times authors fall down this rabbit hole thinking, oh, I want to appeal to an audience, oh, I want this to be a bestseller, I want to do this, da 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 da. And I don't know, maybe I'm just sort of stubborn or something, but for my own writing, for the book I'm working on, like, I kind of don't give a shit. It's terrible. But I'm like, because at the end of the day, like, if nobody else reads it but me and my mom, and I'll probably make I have a feeling like I'm gonna have to create a mom edition where I tear out a bunch of pages which have like naughty bits in them, you know what I mean? And so that'll be the mom edition. So she'll have to read like 3 pages of my book, I think. Um, but you do it for yourself. You do it because you have a compulsion to do that. And that there's something that you want to get out there in some ways. And then if other people enjoy it for going along on the ride, so be it. Awesome. I mean, but the paradox of that attitude is that a lot of times people do get, if you're excited about it, and if you like it, and if it's something that you want, then they will somehow, I think people just energetically pick up on that kind of thing. And versus you're trying to push something onto them and make them want it or like it, it's more like, "Ooh, this is something cool, you want to get in on this, well, I like it." And I have personally been very surprised in my own career where I've created paintings that I really liked, and that I was like, nobody's gonna I'm like, cool, I guess I'm gonna just keep this painting forever because nobody's gonna buy this painting. No way, no way. And yet those tend to be the paintings that do tend to sell. Um, and I think also when you do more work, there's more of a body of work, you learn to sort of take things less personal. You don't look at every painting as something that's going to make or break you. It's sort of this overall arc of experience and things that you produce and create. And again, that coming back to the accordion book, that's kind of like the other beautiful thing about it is like the sum is greater than the parts. And the way I'm also really pleased about how I'm designed this project so that, some people work really slow and they do amazing quality work. Some people work really fast and they get better by doing a large volume of work, and then they pare it down and they get good quality work. um, both of those are great ways to work. So as long as you're engaged and doing it,
I don't see why, people should be told, you must be at this point or da 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 da. So I wanted to give you freedom to work and find your best working style, and find a way that, and your book doesn't have to be 5 pages. It doesn't have to be 10 pages. It can be 3, it can be 20. I mean, um, so there's that flexibility in this format and I'll be giving I'm enclosing a video that where you can see me making a lot of mistakes and showing you different options about, but the main important thing is that you have, with the format that I've created here for you, you have a lot of flexibility to make this project work for you. um, and I'll leave you with this thought. Um, there there was a story in the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, where he talked about a college professor, a photography professor, who divided the class into two sides just randomly, like, okay, line down the middle of the room, the kids on this side, you're going to get a grade based on one photograph. So if that photograph is A work, then that's your grade, that one photograph. If it's DCB, whatever, that's your one thing. Okay, that's your one shot. One perfect photograph, that's your grade. And then the other side, he said, all right, look, I don't care what you give me. You just have to give me 100 photographs or whatever it was. It was like some, a fairly big number. Just give me 100 photographs. I don't care. Like, just as long as you make that quota, you get an A. If you don't make that quota, we kind of prorate it. So whatever he had, I don't know, but it's your so one side was their grading system was based on quality, that one, and the other one was based on quantity. Um, and the paradox was, well, which group do you think did better? Who produced like the best quality pieces out of that? Who did good? And the answer was surprisingly the quantity group, because the quantity group, they were like, well, we can experiment, we can do whatever, let's get in there and muck around. I mean, who cares, as long as we do 100 photograph, take another one. Oh, okay, take another one, whereas the other group, that was the only quality one, and I really actually feel kind of sorry for those kids. They're like, oh my god, like, just and they just felt very like there was a lot of sort of second guessing and a lot of like kind of hesitancy, I think, because of just the feeling, this is the one shot that I've got, and how do I, and well, I only have to do one, right? Versus the quantity group that was just like, yeah, whatever, they had a much more rich creative process. So when you're working on this stuff, especially when we're in the rough sketches, I want you to think like the group that had to do just a bunch of stuff and not to care about if it's good or not or all that kind of stuff, because you will get better just by doing it. And this is a really fun group of people here. We've got some familiar faces and some new faces. I love that. And it's all good. So looking forward to the stories that you are going to tell. Thank you so much for signing up. I'll see you soon.